Tim Whalen and Grant Hendrickson coming to you with an update on the Blue Cross antitrust settlement. Grant, what's the latest?
Well, we've been getting a lot of emails, a lot of questions. I thought it'd be easier just to share a video. I actually did get a hold of a law firm that represents the plaintiffs. And so coming to you with some updates. Ultimately, one, we've got until November 5th of 2021 to file a claim. And so employers and employees are eligible to file a claim if they were covered under a Blue Cross program from February 7th of 2008 through October 16th of 2020. And so this antitrust settlement, we're not certain of how much funds will be left once we split it across all of the Blue Cross Blue Shield plans across the country. Remember, this is the entire association. This isn't Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. So, but that claim filing process has become very, very simple through the website that you see in the link in the email, bcbssettlement.com. You can click right there. If you've got your unique ID from an email or a postcard that maybe you've received in the mail, that's a really easy way to attach yourself to the claim. And honestly, it takes about 5 minutes. I've helped a number of clients, and I've also filed a personal claim. So it's very, very easy. And remember that Blue Cross Blue Shield has not admitted to any wrongdoing. So it's, in their opinion, going to be lower cost to settle this. And ultimately, they're going to make changes to the way they do business to increase opportunities for competition in the health insurance marketplace. And they're going to allow qualified national self-funded accounts to request a second bid for coverage from a member plan of their choice so they could get a second Blue Cross bid from another state.
Okay. So who's eligible for the settlement again?
So anybody that's been enrolled from essentially February 7th of 2008 to October 16th, 2020, either on the individual market or the corporate marketplace can file a claim. And when you're filing a claim, kind of the one question that they're going to ask is the premium allocations. How much did you pay for premium? And so there's an easy button. You can choose the default option, or you can choose an alternative option. The alternative option, you're going to have to provide some more documentation or proof to show that you did pay more or less than the premiums through the default option. The default option has essentially said, we want to make this easy. We don't want people to have to go through years and years of records. So that default option, ultimately, the employer would be entitled to 85% of the premium of single coverage, and the employee would be entitled to 15%. And for two-person or family coverage, the employer would be entitled to 66% of the premium or the monies received from the settlement. And then 34% would go towards the employee. So there are employers that are paying more than that amount. Now, is it going to be worth it to go through the hassle of providing all the documentation necessary? Maybe, but maybe not, especially because we don't know how much the settlements will be in the end.
Sure. Okay. And yeah, that important clarification. It's not that they're getting that much of the premium. It's just if the premium was split that way, then that percentage would be allocated with
the settlement dollars. Correct. Thanks for clarifying that.
So if the employers have some sort of alternative contribution.
Yeah, what I've been told by the law firm is that you may be asked to provide payroll records. So we have some employers that do pay 100% of the premium, and kind of what I've instructed those employers to do is to write a letter on letterhead saying that we pay 100% of the premium. Please let us know if you need additional documentation. And once this settlement finally goes through, they will obviously respond accordingly and ask for what kind of documentation they would need for you to prove that you paid X% of the premium.
Great. So employers, are they required to send information to their employees? What's that look like?
Yeah. So there's nothing that requires employers to send out a notice to their employees about this settlement. What you need to make sure is that you're not dissuading your employees to file a claim, because they are eligible to file a claim, even if they haven't paid any percentage of the premium, because from a class action lawsuit perspective, you could look at this as saying, well, these premiums are a part of your overall compensation. So employees can file a claim. What I would suggest is that sending out a blanket message saying, You've probably received information about this settlement. We don't know how much is going to be, paid back. But here's your plan, your group number, your policy number, and your coverage dates. And you can kind of blank that out to the organization, because that's information that the employees would need to submit a claim through that same website link.
So have you received any sense for what kind of payments we'd be looking at?
I think it's going to be a lot smaller than everybody thinks. There has been guidance saying that if any of the payments are less than $5, that they are not going to receive a payment. So
if that's in the discussion,
I'm thinking there could be a lot of disappointed employees that go to file this claim and then never receive anything. And even with
but that's not to dissuade them from. We got to be careful that you don't want to dissuade employees from filing.
Right, but the expectation is that there's tens of millions of people potentially filing claims, and hundreds of thousands of employers. Even employers that think, gosh, I might see a decent return here. Well, when you're splitting a couple $1 billion by hundreds of thousands, if not millions of entities, plus all the employees and people enrolled in individual coverage, I don't expect there to be too much. So again, the filing process, the claim filing process, we want to restate, choosing the default option may be your best bet in order to just to speed things up.
It is a pretty easy process. You talked about, it took 5 minutes for you to.
Super easy. But if you have questions, please reach out. You know where to find me. G Hendrickson at brvassociates.com. Happy to help you file the claim and answer any additional questions that they may have. So hopefully this has been helpful.
Awesome. It has to me.
All right. Thanks.